Hey guys, welcome to your daily astrological horoscope for Thursday, January 18th. So, today's been a rather interesting week. We had a new moon on Tuesday, and today we're kind of moving forward with that energy as to see what we can accomplish during this cycle. And again, this cycle that we've been talking about, this lunar cycle that's been going on, this is going to be a really eventful kind of thing because these are constructing changes and structures and stuff that are going to stay with us for a long period of time, right? Sure, we could always talk about this new moon cycle, but ultimately we're also trying to create new structures and new rules and mentalities that are going to help us really for the whole year long. And so we really kind of want to start that year right. You know, I know that, well, New Year's happened like 16 days ago, Niwa. Yeah, I get it. That's a thing. But if you really want to take a look at the energies of how to make the best of them, you'd want to start your new year now. Or, you know, yesterday when it was on Tuesday, because I'm recording this Wednesday. So, yeah, you would have wanted to do your New Year's resolutions really on Tuesday, because from then on is really setting the foundation, Capricorn, the foundation, the traditions that you're going to want to carry on for the rest of this year. And just like with yesterday's forecast, today we don't have a really big amount of change. We still do have the moon in Aquarius, and it's still very much a crescent moon. So just like I said yesterday, guys, today, you know, we've definitely let go of that Capricornian energy as we move deep into the territories of Aquarius. And here you really just want to very much work on your own energies of bringing more freedom to yourself and bringing more innovation to yourself, right? Do remember that Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and so innovation is the name of the game. But if you guys have seen my Venus in Aquarius video, then you guys are aware that today Venus enters Aquarius. And so with it, we're also going to get a new perspective on the types of changes that we want, right? Because again, with having that new moon so very close to Aquarius, but not necessarily in Aquarius, we're setting foundations that are going to be beneficial for us for the rest of the year. But a lot of those foundations should be very loosely made. You know, when the RNC likes to talk about small government, right? Let the states decide things, right? This is kind of that in a little bit. You want to be able to have the flexibility to be able to set your foundations, and so that they don't necessarily bind you down. And so with Venus here, we're going to really come into a emotional type of understanding of what it is that appeals to us, what makes us feel good, what makes us feel pleasured, what is it that we like on a receptive level, right? These are things that we are receiving or that we are in the presence of that makes us feel good. And so Venus being in Aquarius here is definitely going to give us a bit of liking exotic things, liking quirky things, liking things that aren't traditional, that aren't old, that aren't rigid, that aren't structured. Venus in Aquarius now brings us new life, brings us new awareness. This is like going from watching the news on the TV to watching the news on the internet. Same type of business, but now in a much more free way, I would like to state it. Because remember, when you watch the news on TV, you had to sit down at a specific hour. You had to make sure you weren't doing anything. You had to free up time for that specific moment so that you can catch your program. What's the freedom of the internet? You can watch things whenever you please. I mean, you know, I'm going to flat out say here I watched Philip DeFranco, and, you know, I don't have to watch it when he goes live. I can go ahead and watch my daily news whenever I have the opportunity to do so. It could be at 6 o'clock, it could be at 12 o'clock, it could be at 3 in the morning, anytime I want. So this is the new freedom that Venus will very much love as she enters the sign of, well, technology, aliens, things that are long distance, things that are technological. Venus is going to definitely give us that emotional boost of like, whoa, I like this new innovative thing that I haven't seen before, this thing that allows me to be more mobile, right? This might be a time in which you might, if you're a gamer and you don't have a whole lot of time to be gaming, you might end up liking a mobile video game, right? Maybe you have your cell phone, right? And you start playing, I don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links or whatever, or Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, right? This might be a really good time to like pick up a mobile game, and don't get addicted to it, right? Don't spend too much time in it. Don't be like, oh, this is the new best thing, and this is the thing that I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. And the reason I say that is because, of course, we have Juno here, so this isn't something that you're necessarily gonna spend too much time on, but this is something that you may find a renewed enjoyment in. Or maybe this is something that you've put off for a long time, and you all of a sudden, boom, you love it. It's a good thing. I know that speaking of Philip DeFranco, he launched his new app so that you can catch his news and stuff on a mobile platform as Venus goes into Aquarius. That's not a coincidence, like, right? If you think big people aren't using astrology to launch things or not announce things, you know, you're living in the past, because there's a lot of people out there, whether they do it consciously or not, and that's when I have to state that there are people that will use certain energies to launch certain things. I mean, again, what is a coincidence? A coincidence is you merely doing an action based on an energy signal that you've gotten, but you don't consciously know that, right? So again, today, Moon here being very emotional about wanting new types of like liberties and freedoms, definitely getting them downloads of how to go about doing that. With Venus moving into the same sign, we're definitely going to feel very receptive to this type of energy. And we may find new joys and new loves for things that maybe in the past we didn't exactly understand or didn't really care about. But again, just be caution to not really stick to this, and realize that just because you like something doesn't mean that it needs to be here forever. We also have Juno conjuncting very closely to the South Node here, which means that there's going to be a big push for wanting to focus on and dedicate your time to, you know, humanitarian causes, but also areas in which we may be lacking in humanitarian resources. So this is a very big time in which, you know, right now with the South Node being in Aquarius, we don't have that support of like, you know, in court system, in humanitarian resources. There's more of a, you know, kind of American attitude of do it yourself type of thing going on, instead of really being open to help out your neighbor or your fellow countrymen. So that's going on. And lastly, we will be having this Mars in conjunct with Uranus for the rest of the week, as well as Mars in conjunct Chiron for the rest of the week. So definitely learning about how to initiate new changes, going in new directions, figuring out the direction that we want to go in, as Mars will in conjunct this Athena later this week, probably next week. And so right now we're definitely trying out new changes, see what works, see what doesn't. Really, like, the name of the game right now is really learning about change, learning to incorporate more freedom and more innovation and more technology into our lives, so that we can go into a direction that will bring us that stability that is on the cusp of, but definitely bring us some more personal changes and directions within our own self. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. You know, hopefully you guys definitely enjoyed this, maybe helped open a new perspective on things. Maybe you had some plans down and you were missing that key idea, and hopefully I was beneficial today. We do have Sun in the 28th degree of Capricorn, so very soon enough it will also be joining us in Aquarius. Stay tuned as we put out the Sun in Aquarius video, as well as Athena in Taurus, and we still have quite a amount of work to get done, so stay tuned. I believe that's going to be happening over the weekend. So till then, guys, stay safe, stay positive, and I will catch you guys on the Friday cast. Peace.